Once upon a time, a girl found herself trapped inside a coffin. Struggling to breathe, she desperately tried to escape. This coffin was in a morgue, and when the morgue owner noticed the coffin moving, he panicked and fled to save his life. Summoning all her strength, the girl finally managed to get out of the coffin and headed towards the door to escape the mortuary. However, the door was locked, which left her feeling very worried. She then found a nearby room with a telephone and called the police. Frightened, she explained how someone had tried to kill her and buried her alive in a coffin. Now she was trapped inside a strange building. When the police asked for her location, she realized she had no idea where she was. As she wandered further, the girl entered another room and saw a dead body. Terrified, she moved closer to it while still holding the telephone. Suddenly, the telephone wire broke. Now completely shaken, she tried to call the police again, but the broken wire made it impossible. Just then, she heard a voice outside the building. She rushed to the door and saw the mortuary owner, the same man who had earlier fled in fear. Seeing her alive, he decided to help and open the door. But before he could assist her, a masked figure, Nakab Poo, appeared out of nowhere and attacked the mortuary owner, killing him brutally. Taking advantage of the chaos, the girl pushed open the door, knocking over the masked attacker, and ran as fast as she could. She eventually reached the highway, where she waved down a passing car. The driver, a man named Jack, stopped and offered her a lift. She explained her ordeal, and Jack decided to take her to the police station. However, he told her that it was too far to reach that night, so he brought her to his home instead. Jack lived with his wife, Cindy. When Cindy saw the girl, she was surprised and suspicious, thinking she might be a thief trying to trick Jack. Jack calmed Cindy, saying they shouldn't jump to conclusions. Cindy tried talking to the girl, but the girl couldn't remember anything, not even her own name. This shocked Cindy even more. The girl begged Cindy to call the police, but Cindy's telephone wasn't working. Cindy reassured her that they would take her to the police station in the morning. Later that evening, while Jack was talking to Cindy, they heard the girl scream. Jack rushed to her and saw an injury on her head. He realized that the wound might have caused her memory loss. To comfort her, Jack suggested that she choose a temporary name for herself. The girl decided on the name Prince. After helping her calm down, Jack headed back to his bedroom. But when he reached the door, he found it locked from the inside. Alarmed, Jack broke down the door and ran inside. Jack enters the room and notices through the window that Nakapua is standing outside, threatening to kill Cindy. Alarmed, Jack quickly leaves the house with Prince and confronts Nakapua, pleading for Cindy's life. Jack offers himself in exchange for Cindy's safety, but Nakapua demands Prince instead. Jack refuses, leading Nakapua to mercilessly kill Cindy. Devastated by Cindy's death, Jack pushes Nakapua away and escapes with Prince in a car. In the next scene, Johnny, Cindy's brother, is in a car with his girlfriend. Johnny is on a mission to avenge Cindy. He spots Nakapua's car parked nearby and approaches it to investigate. As he returns, Nakapua ambushes Johnny and brutally kills him. Johnny's girlfriend, terrified by the scene, tries to flee but is also attacked and killed by Nakapua. Meanwhile, Jack and Prince reach Steven's house, seeking help. They ask Steven to call the police, but his phone isn't working. Steven uses his computer to email the police for assistance at Prince's request. While waiting, they research Nakapua online and learn he is a ruthless serial killer who records videos of his murders and sends them to the police. The group decides to go to the police station with Steven. To their shock, the station is abandoned. Jack tries to use the station's radio for help and hears a man claiming he has killed Nakapua. At the same time, Prince notices a dead body in the jail cell with a bloodied camera above it. Steven attempts to document the scene but becomes horrified upon discovering a dead police officer. Accidentally, Prince opens the jail cell door. As it opens, the camera above the dead body turns on, and Nakapua suddenly attacks Prince from behind. After a terrifying struggle, the group narrowly escapes Nakapua, though Prince sustains painful injuries along the way. Her screams prompt Jack to stop the car. They come across a house, where Jack takes Prince inside to provide first aid. Realizing he left his gun at their previous location, Jack decides to retrieve it, leaving Prince and Stephen alone in the house. While waiting, Prince notices Nakapua in the building across the street, watching them. Prince realizes that Nakapa must have someone captive in the building she's watching. Determined to help, she sneaks into the building before Nakapa arrives. Meanwhile, Stephen tries to distract Nakapua, but Nakapa catches on and stops Stephen. Ignoring him, Nakapa heads into the building. Inside, Prince discovers a woman tied up by Nakapua. Just as Prince is about to help her, Nakapa arrives, startling Prince. Overwhelmed with fear, she watches as Nakapa beats the captive woman brutally. Afterward, Nakapa searches for Prince, finds her, and injects her with a drug to make her unconscious. He then places Prince in a coffin and fits a camera inside, planning to record her death. Before Nakapa can harm Prince further, Jack arrives. He attacks Nakapua, injuring him by hitting him with his own mask. With Stephen's help, Jack searches desperately for Prince. After an intense effort, they finally find her alive in the coffin. Relieved, they help Prince into their car and drive away. However, the story doesn't end there. Nakapua, still alive, removes the bullets from his body and tends to his injuries. Meanwhile, in the car, Stephen opens the trunk and is horrified to find his mother's dead body inside. Heartbroken, Stephen breaks down, but Jack consoles him and helps him calm down. Together, they carry Stephen's mother's body into the house to give her the respect she deserves. After Jack and Stephen left, Prince decided to take the car and run away, thinking it would keep her safe. While driving, she spotted a shop and stopped to get something to eat. However, the car suddenly locked from the inside, trapping her. Shortly after, Nakapa arrived and began tormenting her. He intended to torture and kill Prince while recording a video, but his camera ran out of tape. Nakapa ordered Prince to retrieve a new tape from the shop, threatening to kill her and all the shop workers if she tried to escape. Prince reluctantly entered the shop to get the tape. The shop owner realized Prince was in trouble and came out with a gun to confront Nakapua, despite Prince warning him not to. Tragically, Nakapa overpowered the shop owner and killed him with his own gun. Inside the shop, Prince and a shop worker were terrified. Just then, Jack and Stephen arrived and convinced the shop worker to unlock the door. Once inside, Stephen noticed Nakapa's bag and secretly swapped a glue bottle in the bag with a chemical. Suddenly, the shop's lights went out. When Stephen went to fix them, Nakapa attacked him, pouring the chemical into his ear. This caused Stephen's head to explode, horrifying Jack and Prince. Jack, determined to protect Prince, told her to escape, but she refused to leave him behind. Jack bravely confronted Nakapa but couldn't overpower him. Nakapa killed Jack, leaving Prince horrified. She hid inside a fridge to save herself. Nakapa found Prince and showed her a video. Watching it, Prince realized her shocking past. She had once worked as a prostitute and had been invited by Nakapua to a hotel. There, he attacked her, made her unconscious, and locked her alive in a coffin at a mortuary. Discovering this truth left Prince devastated. Nakapa began breaking the fridge to reach Prince, but during the struggle, his iconic mask fell off. Desperate, he tried to glue it back on, unaware that Stephen had replaced the glue with a chemical. As soon as Nakapa applied it, he experienced excruciating pain and died shortly after. Relieved and overjoyed, Prince realized her life was finally saved. She left the shop with the worker, driving away in the car. With that, the story came to an end.